And now I'm joined by Editor-in-Chief Will Anderson. You know, Will, hundreds of thousands of fans are going to descend on DFW here in just a few months from now. You know, how are the cities sort of gearing up to give them a unique fan experience?
Yes, and so Dallas Business Journal, we hosted an event on Tuesday. We had Dan Hunt, who's the president of FC Dallas and the co-chair of the organizing committee, plus Mayor Maddie Parker from Fort Worth, Mayor Jim Ross from Arlington, and Councilmember Jesse Moreno from Dallas. And they were talking about that exact thing. So to your point, they all kind of offer different elements, right? So in Dallas, you'll find the International Broadcast Center. You'll find the main Fan Fest, where you're going to have over 1 million people visit over the time that's open, and they might not have any tickets. So people coming to experience the tournament, even if they're not, forking over money for the matches. In Fort Worth and Arlington, you've got plenty of other resources that people can check out. And it's this big regional effort, maybe the biggest effort since the Super Bowl was hosted at Jerry World, to really collaborate and the whole region working together on safety and transportation. But each one of those places wants to stand out on their own as well and make their mark with international visitors from around the world. So kind of a tightrope to walk. And
did Mayor Parker, did she more focus on the tourism aspect of Fort Worth and some of the attractions there?
Yeah, you think about Texas and what that means to a global visitor.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd want to see the stockyards, to see the Longhorns going the cattle drive down the street, see the rodeo atmosphere. But interestingly, I was looking at some of the numbers presented by the city of Dallas, and the majority of hotel nights booked so far in Dallas, a little bit in Arlington, Frisco, and Fort Worth, of course, too, and other suburbs, but a big focus in Dallas. Obviously, Dallas has a lot of international name recognition of its own. So you're talking about $1 billion plus impact, $2 billion potentially across this whole area, and people are going to be kind of fighting for a piece of that pie in a way.
And what should businesses be doing now if they want to cash in?
Yes, interesting. And because it kind of came up in the event that, yes, there are the RFPs, which means like when the FIFA or the organizing committee are officially reaching out and asking for people to help up with events or security or table rentals. The official stuff has to happen. But I thought it was interesting to hear these officials, leaders talk about, well, get entrepreneurial. Find out ways to get a part of this even if you aren't officially involved with FIFA. So it was down to Dan Hunt talking about, if you're a nail salon, you might want to figure out right now how to paint really small fingernails with flags or something, right?
The colors of Argentina.
Croatia, Argentina.
Or
exactly.
the UK, yeah.
Make the most of that. If you're a party planner, calling up big businesses to see if you can host their watch party. There's going to be tons of those. Some days it might seem like not a lot of business is getting done in Dallas-Fort Worth with people watching the game. So they're even, they're talking about finding other ways to get involved, even if you're not officially involved with the tournament.
Give us an update on some of the big decisions that are still pending right now.
Sure. We're 4 months out, but really, if you're a business or you're planning, time is running out to really think about how you're going to make the most of it. And it's tricky if you're one of those businesses or a government leader, because we're still waiting to figure out if any of these national teams will select DFW for their base camps. Other cities have already been selected, including Kansas City getting a few teams. No team has officially said they're going to put their base camp here in Dallas-Fort Worth. That could still change, or maybe we don't get any in the base camps. Maybe that impacts kind of the economic impact of the tournament, but we haven't seen any of those teams land here yet.
Yeah, and that is such a huge thing. If you're not familiar with World Cup culture, thousands and thousands of fans, a lot of them who don't even have tickets, they just want to be near their team and to, see some of the practices and be in the area.
Be part of the excitement. And the numbers I saw from the city of Dallas were 3.8 million visitors over the length of the tournament. Yeah. That's 100,000 people per day in DFW. That's going to be noticeable. Yeah. Concentrated around the hotels, around tourism areas. So you'll notice it when it's in town, even if you don't have a ticket. The people with their faces painted, with their jerseys on, it's going to be electric, I think.
Yeah, and but some of that does hinge on us, DFW, being selected for a base camp or two.
Sure. Yeah.
We encourage you to go to the Dallas Business Journal's website, bizjournals.com/Dallas. You can read the entire story, how businesses can cash in on the World Cup fever. It's a great read. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right.